Good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Colorful Conversation. I had a very, very nice day yesterday. It was my birthday. Many of you, as well as most of my Hair Color Secrets Insider members, blew up my Facebook wall with happy birthday sentiments, which was really so nice to wake up to and throughout the day. And it made me think about, patterns in human behavior and how interesting we are as adults. When you're a kid, everything is new, exciting, fun. You're happy all the time. You're so happy to be together. You play together every day. You talk on the phone a million times. I mean, think about high school, how much time you spent on the phone talking to your girlfriends that you just got off the bus from. Like, I literally would get off the bus, sitting talking to my girlfriends and be like, call ya, and literally call them 10 minutes later and talk for another 4 hours. And most of you know, I had to fly home to Philadelphia for a very sudden death of a family member. So I went from funeral catching up to birthday catching up. And it made me think about all the space in between. In between the funerals, the weddings, and the birthdays, there's a lot of space and there's a lot of really lonely people. And we're all in our own head going about our routines, assuming everyone else is as busy as we are. And we miss milestones for people. We miss that their kids graduated from, grade school, high school, their kid made their first Holy Communion or got a scholarship, or they themselves got a promotion at work. And there's all these daily wins that as an adult, especially an adult over 50, most people don't know about your wins unless you're really braggy on Facebook. And most people don't like to be that braggy. But I think just, these phones have made us more aware of what other people have going on, but so much more disconnected. It's so much simpler to shoot a quick text and say, hey, how's your day? I've done that with friends that I haven't seen. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about you. How are you? And they're like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Because they're not used to it and they think that there's something wrong. So just wanted to get that off my chest early in the coffee chat. I have a lot of good stuff to share. So many of you attended the 3-day boot camp. We had an amazing turnout. The masterclasses, for the first time ever, Zoom always gives me 100 spots. And in the past, when I did a masterclass after Zoom, I paid for extra spots because there was, 1,800 people signed up for boot camp. 300 people signed up to the live sessions on Facebook. So I'm like, okay, the average is usually like 20%. So, if all those people showed up on those different days, I could possibly have more than 100, but the odds are against me that I'm going to have more than 100. So I did not do the extra attendee on Zoom. And of course, Murphy's Law kicks in and we had an overflow of people trying to get into the master classes. I was getting a bajillion emails saying, I have the link and I'm clicking on it and it won't let me in because they may have shown up 10 minutes late, which is very normal. I do it myself. You forget and you try to jump in. So I was blessed to be so full on all 3 classes, but I don't like to leave people hanging. And when I say the masterclass is special, there's no replay, all of that, that's true. There is no replay. It's you show up or you miss out. So because a lot of people did not make it on, one of the biggest ahas that I shared in the masterclass, I want to share with all of you. You show up for me, most of you every Wednesday, or most of you watch the replay every Wednesday. And what the masterclass topic was, I named it Foiling Faux Pas. A faux pas is like an oops, a mistake, an embarrassing thing that happens. So I thought that was a cool name because I took French for 2 years and that's pretty much, the only thing that I can remember being a cool French thing that stuck in my brain. So the faux pas are, we all know what they are, right? We get busy going through the head. We're working fast. We might move a foil to touch something up in between and the other hair, and the foil shifts and we get the dreaded bleed mark. That's like a big common oops is the dreaded bleed mark. So I have a video I'm going to share with all of my coffee chatters. If you were not in boot camp and you don't even know what I'm talking about, you're getting a really special treat because you did not sign up for boot camp and you're still getting the bonus masterclass goodies that were at the end of boot camp. So I'm going to share this video with you and I will be back to talk about it. We have all been here at one time or another, regardless of your years of experience. My hair color mentor, Beth Minardi, always says the first 20,000 foils are the toughest, and it's true. Once you get past, that first year to 2 years of foiling hair, things start to get easier, but it doesn't help you avoid the foiling faux pas that come up. We all have it happen, that puffing, bleeding foil that we did not anticipate. So you're motoring through the head, you're starting in the back, you're going up, everything looks great. You go back and check, everything's tight and perfect. And then you come up to the front, you start losing some juice, you start slowing down a little bit, you're getting tired, you're starting to get to the end of the product in your bowl. Sometimes, you don't feel like remixing, so you get a little bit lazy, or you may mix really quickly and your mixture was a little thinner than your last batch. And this is what happens. Enter the bleed. It is that moment when you're piecing through the hair and you come across the next one, you're like, oh crap. And your first inclination is like, maybe she won't see it. Maybe I can just leave it. We've all been there, myself included. Oh, she won't see it. I'm going to do a root shadow anyway. But you know that even if you shadow root this person, that one spot is not going to be the same as everything else. So don't be lazy, own it. Everybody makes mistakes. You don't have to broadcast it to the client, but own it to yourself. So you just want to take the hair that it affected, this hair above it, and I prefer to use a white towel so I can really see what's going on and get everything off of there. So just kind of wipe off the lightener that was sitting there causing that bleed. You want to make sure that you remove it before you try to fix it. And this is while the foils are still in the hair. This isn't later after you've shampooed everything off. This is while the foils are still in there. You just want to go in, but the client thinks, oh, she's just making sure to check it. She's just being super on top of things, making sure I'm not getting too light. She doesn't know that that is going on. So let's talk about why it happened. I did this on purpose for demonstration purposes, but I'm no stranger to the bleed. It happens. So this section got a little bit thick and too far away from where the foil could sit close to the scalp without losing the connection to it. So I made sure that I went right up to it so that the foil would puff up and bleed. But you just want to make sure that you don't apply lightener all the way up to the tippy top because the body heat has it rise on its own. So that's how they happen. That's how to avoid them. But once it happens, you want to make sure, and I'm using a dry towel, something that we've been taught in the past is like, oh, squirt it with water. But water is only one molecule away from developer. So water will actually let the lightener continue to process, and we don't want that. So I'm using a dry towel, wiping it off, and then you just want to mix up a liquid demi color. I'm going to wipe it off of here too. And while I'm here, I want to show you the other trick of when they start to slide like that and it hasn't bled onto the hair up here yet. You just want to take another piece of foil, come underneath that section, put your foil right up under it, and slide this foil off while keeping the new foil tight to the scalp. You just want to do this. Oops, I'm holding on to the wrong piece. Slide it off. And then you want to use a little bit of your product just to make sure that it's glued in there. And then fold it again properly so that it's not going to happen again. You want to make sure that it's sealed right up like that. So that's the how to fix this looking sliding foil that has not bled. But once it bleeds, you just want to take, she's about a level 5 naturally. So you want to mix up a liquid demi deposit only color in a level deeper, at least one level deeper than her natural. So for her, you would go in with a level 4, just something neutral. If your bleed is super orange, you can put something cooler in there, but a neutral usually does the trick. So like a 4N or a 3N. This is a tiny little applicator bottle. I could have it back on the back bar. The client wouldn't even notice that I'm doing anything. And you literally just apply it right on top in like a thick bead, right on top of the bleed while the foils are still in. You want to make sure that you get both sides because it bled all the way through. So now while these foils are continuing to process, this is going to be taken care of. No more bleed. By the time I rinse those foils, because this is such a deep shade and it's deposit only, it's going to go right in there and get rid of that bleed immediately, like it never happened. So don't panic, but don't ignore the bleed mark. Especially I am in an important front area of her head. So I'm going to demonstrate again how to replace the foil on this one that looks like it's going to start bleeding. Like this guy is a little loose and the color, it's hard to see, but it's like right at the tippy top of the foil. So if I want to replace that foil, I'm going to go in with the wide side of the foil instead of going in like this, because most times the reason that it slipped in the first place is because you go too wide on the foil with your piece of hair. So there's not enough room on both sides for everything to grow and expand. So you just want to, again, put that foil right up underneath the existing foil. Put your fingers like this on the side, hold it tight, and slowly slide that initial foil off. And then you want to take your applicator brush, just get all this back into the foil. To work from this angle, sorry. And then fold it up, making sure that you're folded all the way up and it's not going to happen again. And then you can, another tip is when you're folding your sides, you don't want to fold the side right where the hair is. You want to be a little beyond the hair. That keeps it from bleeding as well. So a little bit beyond where the actual hair is, fold the sides in, and voila. No more bleed, no more sliding foils. This guy is processing here and you're not going to see that that guy ever happened. It's going to be gone. Hope you enjoyed that tip. Happy foiling. I'm back. So there were a few questions. I was watching the chat while the video was playing, and one question was from Felicia San Pedro. She said, what is a demi deposit only? So what I'm referring to in that video, demi permanent color is it's in between semi, which is your color right out of the tube, zero developer, shampoos out. That's like a Sebastian Cellophane, Clairol Jazzing. Your Vivids, it's just squirt it right out of the tube. A demi-permanent has a dedicated developer and lasts in the hair longer than semi, but it does not have the ability to lift. That's why when I say demi deposit only, I'm referring in that video to Redken Shades EQ. That is a demi-permanent liquid color. So it goes on super easy. I was able to dot it right on that little spot. I just want to see if there's any other questions before I show. I know you guys are curious to see the after. Somebody commented on the water. I know, right? I got that little tidbit from the Malibu educators. There's a new product from Malibu that you should all know about. If you foil and your foiling gets away from you and where you started is finished and you have to keep going, this product called Deox will be your best friend. You want to get this. You want to mix it early in the day and have it on your station. And anytime you want to stop the lightening action of lightener, you put this on and it stops it right away. The educators, I have not done it yet because it came out when I'm not in a salon, so I haven't had the chance to use it. But it's wonderful. You know, it's going to totally stop it. And I did not know that about water. I just thought that water was better than doing nothing. But apparently it continues to process when all you did was squirt it with water. So that was a great tip. So I am going to play. I know you're all curious what happened when I did that. So I'm going to play the after video. Hey, I just wanted to jump back on here and give you an update. It's been less than 5 minutes since I put the demi-permanent color on the bleed mark. And I just wanted to show you how quickly and effectively this technique works. So I'm going to take my towel. This is where it is right here. And just ruin my white towel by wiping it off. Literally, I didn't set a timer. It's literally been probably 3, maybe 4 minutes. And she's gone, completely gone. Matches her color perfectly. Doesn't look too dark. Doesn't look like it was ever there. It's just gone. So, quick tip on fixing a bleed. Don't panic. Just make it go away. Simply erase it. So did you like that tip? Was that something fun that you'll use in the salon? I always try to make every one of my classes not so basic. You know, it's a hard line to balance because I have people who are brand new out of school that, you know, haven't really learned much at all about hair color. And then I have seasoned hairstylists who've been doing hair for a long time, but there's still things like that tip about the water that they just may not have been told. And there's a lot of confusing, conflicting information. And I'm sure some of it is caused by me because I'm here every week chatting with you all. And I know and share what I've been taught. I always say I don't claim to be a chemist. I do consider myself an expert colorist. I know that's a strong statement. You know, I hear other educators saying, who would ever say that they're an expert? I think I am as expert as a person can be in a subject. I have studied relentlessly for over 35 years about this subject. So in my book, there could be some things that, you know, I wrote that 4 years ago. So some things could have changed since then. And I may be a different colorist since then. Like, so there may be small little things that change, but what I share is how hair color works for me in a real life situation. I am not that educator that gets so into the nitty gritty of the science behind it, because I find that for me as the student, it lost me. You know, if I went to a class, especially product knowledge classes tend to be very technical as far as the ingredients in the product. And it's great to know that. And you should know, you know, if it's safe and all those things, but they've spent 20 minutes in, you know, a brand manufacturer class. They've spent 20 minutes telling me how amazing the ingredients are and the smell of the color and the conditioning agents and the, you know, the hibiscus scent and the sage extract and the oils from the Amazon jungle. And that's great. But I want, if I'm taking 2 hours off of my billable hours on the floor, seeing clients to hear you teach me, I don't want to know about the ingredients. I want to know, does it cover gray? Is it a matte coverage? Is it like really flat and opaque and inky and wiggy like? Or is it translucent? Is the client going to see highlights and tones through it? How long do I have to leave it on the hair? And does it cover gray 100%? I hear a lot of people, and even in this group, you know, I see a lot of people comment like, oh, my client is so resistant. I just can't cover her gray. What is your formula? It's always the formula, guys. It's not the product. I say it all the time, but you may not have heard me say it. I was told, again, I don't know where the proof is, but I was told there are only 3 factories that make hair color in the world. not in the US, in the world. And I've been to one in Italy. And I was a newsy little Nelly, and I was asking a million questions because I was very interested. Like I said, I've been studying this for 35 years. So I'm like, ooh, what's down that aisle? Everybody had those little doctor caps on and the little slipper things over their shoes. It was very factory Laverne and Shirley-ish. And I kept being newsy and wandering down aisles I didn't belong in. And what I discovered accidentally was the very same machine and equipment that was making the hair color line that I was there to visit in Italy was making other brands that were Italian color from other companies in a different box. So it's just like everything else, guys. You know, cereal, suntan lotion. My husband just came in. My birthday was yesterday, as I said, and he came in. He's like, "Happy birthday." And he brought me the exact brand of suntan lotion that I like. He's big on buying like the store brand. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I live in Florida. I want what I want. I don't know if it's mental with me, but I want this brand, this SPF. And he's a smart ass. So he brought me 3 tubes. He's like, here's your sunscreen, your name brand. But the reality is that brand, I'm sure in that factory down another aisle is, you know, the CVS brand, the Walgreens brand, the whatever of that same exact product. And to that point of the hibiscus and the sage and the la-di-la-di-la, that is the difference between the hair color companies. It is the scent. It is the levels of alkalinity, the levels of ammonia content. Like this cream color from Italy was well known for making their molecules really, really small so that they could get in the hair and last longer instead of being really big. Like there are slight differences, but guys, we've seen what a box color and Walgreens can do for a client. Sometimes those women come back from COVID looking better than we had them looking as professionals. And you know that that's true. We don't want to admit it, but sometimes we're like, damn, she should just stick with that box. She got better coverage than, you know, I've seen her get from me. So the box color, yes, the ingredients may not be as conditioning and it may be a little harsh, but the reason that the box color looks so harsh is because the product companies say this box is going to be in the hands of a woman at home in her kitchen that has not been trained as a cosmetologist. So we're going to put extra stuff in here, extra dye load so that she can't mess up. So it will definitely cover her gray. And that's why we cringe when we have a box color correction, because we're like, oh my gosh, she's black. She's black because she believed that, you know, medium brown and the woman on the cover is, you know, someone famous that we love their brunette hair, which was not done with the box. So they don't know or realize that medium brown is really dark brown. Dark brown is really black. We know that as professionals. So they're going by the picture and the name, and they get overly dark. So removing box color, most in bold capital letters, most times is no different than removing our own professional color. Hair color is hair color. Yes, years ago, not all the way back to Cleopatra with them crushing up coal and making black hair, but many years ago, box color did have a lot of metallic salts in it, a lot of harsher ingredients, and there were bigger problems. Not anymore. Now the manufacturers are playing both sides. They're saying to us like, oh, we made this for you. This is amazing. It's this and it's that and it's this. And we get to pay $10 for a little tiny bottle. And then the client gets to pay $8 for a pair of gloves, you know, the instructions, a plastic cap, the exact directions. They're taking better care of them in that at-home box than they're taking care of us. And we're the ones making the millions and billions and trillions of dollars. So without getting into all that, we're kidding ourselves if we think it's any different. It's the hands that are applying it and the knowledge of the hands that are applying it. So if you're not getting 100% gray coverage, you need more training. You don't need to switch color lines. I can't tell you how many people I see. I use this. What do you guys like? I need to find a better line. I am not getting good gray coverage. What's your formula? Ash, you know, level 9, level 10, all the things that are the reason they're not getting the gray coverage. So they're going to go from, say they're using Matrix and they're not getting good coverage, they're going to switch to Redken, and then they're going to say Redken stinks, and then they're going to switch to Schwarzkopf, and they're going to say Schwarzkopf stinks. And we also get this false loyalty to a certain brand because the hairdresser next to us happens to be a kick-ass colorist. She's getting great results. So we're giving the color line all the credit. And then we're trying to use it without the education. And we're like, why am I not getting the same results? What is she doing that she's not telling me? It's education, 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 education. I cannot say enough about that. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, as more than 60% of all hairstylists are doing, I don't even want to talk about COVID. That's a totally different issue. I'm talking about every year, you're just scraping by. You're barely paying for your car. You're driving your car until you're on fumes, because if you get gas today, you're not getting paid till tomorrow. So many hairdressers are living like that. And the only thing standing between them living that way and living a six-figure income lifestyle is education. So I do these boot camps and I do these master classes, and I invite people into my membership. And so many people say, wow, boot camp was amazing. That was the best 3 days I've ever had. I've learned so much from you, but I can't join your membership right now. I just can't afford it. To which I say, I totally get it and I understand. But when I started doing this and creating online education for hairstylists, I had no job. I moved to a new state. I was renting a home. I did not have a cushion. I totally went on like passion and making it work. So I know what that feels like. I've been there very recently. It was not even 3 years ago that I was there. And I paid for an online course that was $3,500. I was sweating pulling out that credit card. I have never paid that much for something for education in my life, other than beauty school tuition. 35 years ago was $5,000. So that was huge back then, and it's nothing now. I think now beauty school is $20,000 or more. So I get it. I was sweating and I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep trying to figure this out, and I'm going to keep watching YouTube videos and torturing my kids and reaching out to other educators and saying, how do you do a sales page? And how do you go live? Like what I'm doing now. I had to learn all this. Going live on one platform and another, like right now I'm live on YouTube. Hi, YouTube guys. I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on 2 Facebook groups. I had to figure that out. So I had to pull that credit card out and pay $3,500. My membership for an entire year is $597. And you get so many videos and bonuses and so much coaching and so much love from me over 365 days. You have full access to me. It comes out to be $1.63 a day. And I get it. I get like you're coming off of, crazy year where a lot of us were shut down for a long time. But this time next year, I promise you, I will be doing another boot camp, and that same name will pop up that's coming to boot camp. I've had the same people in every boot camp for 3 years, and they still have not joined. And some of them are here on this coffee chat right now. So they know I know what I'm talking about. And they know that they've gotten value out of things that I teach, because I overgive. I overgive here on the coffee chat. I overgive anybody that reaches out to me. I answer whether they're a member or not. This is my passion. This is my purpose. This is my life. So the same people keep hanging on and listening to everything that I have to say, but they're still telling themselves that they're not worth $1.63 a day to get to the next level. If I give this much value on my YouTube, in my $25 book, in these free coffee chats, imagine all the nuggets that's in the membership that you have an entire year to digest and to understand. If you sign up, pulling out your credit card and signing up is easy, right? Even though it's scary, it's easy. It's a swipe, it's a nervous moment, and it's I can't believe I just did that. And then this first coaching call was Monday night, was the most packed coaching call I've ever had. I have a 100-person limit. We had 98 people on the call because the new members were so excited to be there. They all showed up. They were excited to be there. Next month's call, I'll have maybe 65. The next month, I'll have 45. And it keeps dwindling because it's like the gym. We all joined the gym January 2nd. We're all stuffed with between Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year. And oh my God, the food and the drinks and the cookies and the You know how our clients bring us all the goodies. So we're like, we're going to start in January, and the gym is packed in January. You can't get on a machine. You have to like get creative about what time you go to the gym because everybody's feeling like new year, new me. Yay. That's what happens with things like my membership. But the people that show up and the people that do the work, I have an entire video of testimonials of the movement that they have gotten. And I am so proud of them. I am so happy to be a part of that. It warms my heart to see people actually make changes and do the things that they're learning in the membership and having that experience, the confidence to raise their prices, the confidence to know how to raise them, to not have the, oh my God, you raise your prices again. Like we get into everything. It is not just watching YouTube videos the way you watch a Netflix series. That is not what I'm asking you to do. I am in it with you. I am there with you. We have an optional in-person retreat once a year. That's an amazing 3 days of community with the group. You meet like-minded people. It's all about hair color. So if you're a generalist right now in the salon and you're like, I just want to color hair, I'm so sick of doing kids cuts, I'm so sick of doing brides and waxing and this and that. If you're feeling frustrated, when you have that feeling pecking at you, it means there's more for you and that you're holding yourself back because you're scared and you love feeling comfortable. We all do. That's why we wear stretchy jeans. We want to feel comfortable and we want to still have dessert. I do anyway. So comfort is good, but nothing good happens in the comfort zone, I promise. And the other side of fear is so fabulous, you won't even know what to do with yourself. I want to see you work 4 days or less. There's no reason that you need to work 5 days in our industry right now. You can earn 6 figures in 4 and even 3. I have people on staff that do it in 3. And we do not squeeze in. We do not work with assistants. I know people are going to say, oh, she probably has 5 assistants. No, we have no assistants. And it's very easily achieved because it's hair color on a different level. It's multi-dimensional color with so many things going on. It's not just slap it on, set the timer, and go smoke a cigarette. So you're going to learn all that in the membership. So, guys, I come here every Wednesday and I chat with you and I offer as much value as I can. And only twice a year, I ask you to join me and to pull out your credit card. And this is that time of year that I'm asking you to join me. So I want you to be different next year than you are right now. And I know you want that for yourself. So again, the only thing standing between that, the success of naming your own schedule, not working on Saturday anymore, not doing all the things you don't want to do, and not doing this anymore every time you mix up a formula, praying that the gray gets covered, praying that it turns out okay, and that's not overtoned or muddy or the blonde breaks off or all the things that happen. Your security is your education, not this. Not praying, hoping, wishing, manifesting good results, understanding how hair color works. And if you attended boot camp, one of the biggest ahas was knowing that 50% of your formula is already on the head. That leaves people scratching their head a lot, and that's a huge nugget. And just hearing that is not enough. You knowing that, like, what are you talking about? 50% is already on the head. What? I never heard that. The more of that is in the membership. It's taking that journey from fearful to fabulous formulator. That's the point of it. To understand it so well that you don't even have to think about it. You just automatically know what to do. And everything is predictable. So thanks for joining Coffee Chat. I hope you enjoyed my little bleed video. I hope that helps you in the salon. The doors are open for the membership. The launch is going to be until May 14th. So you still have time to join during this launch and get all the juicy bonuses. There is a monthly option. However, it doesn't include any of the extra goodies. So if you want Fearless Formulation Challenge, which is an amazing grassroots diving deep into all things formulation, that and the Fast and Fearless Foiling, where that video was from with the bleed mark, the Hair Color Simplified, which is an entire online course all about the simple parts of hair color and the foundation, plus the actual membership, which that alone has over 180 videos, plus the coaching, plus, plus, plus. So there's a ton of stuff for $1.63 a day. I hope to see you joining the membership. I will see you all next week. Thanks for joining.